Hey, we have a small group program here at Families Matter Most called the Strong Family Program. It's small group coaching, 3 Tuesday nights a month. There is live coaching. So you come, you can log in over video, you can call in over the phone. You can watch it later if you need to, but the live version is great because you're getting real coaching. It's a small enough group that you are getting coaching on what is impacting your life right now. Behaviors, challenges, work, whatever it is, you get that. That's 3 Tuesday nights a month. 3 Tuesdays a month is live coaching. 1 Tuesday a month is a recorded something. And what's awesome about it is I can tailor it to be what our group is going through. And currently, we're spending a lot of time on ourselves, making sure that we're in a good place, that we're showing up, that we're peaceful and calm, and right, that we can be the kind of parent that we want to be, working on some of our own goals aside from parenting. That's kind of what's happening in the Strong Family Program right now. The recorded session is great because you can watch it when you need to. And then the next week we can debrief. So, how'd it go? What did you learn? What are you working on? And you still get live coaching from it. The value is amazing for what you get. And if this is something you're interested in, reach out and let's have just a short Zoom call and talk about if the Strong Family Program would be a good fit for you. Today on the podcast, I want to share with you a recent recording that I've sent to the Strong Family Program. This is on 3 causes of self-sabotage. So have a listen, enjoy, reach out. Let's get you in there. There are things that you do that you don't even realize. There are things that you do that rob your joy. They steal contentment from your life. They actually hurt you, and it's all your fault. You might blame other people. You might say they did this to me and this always happens. But these 3 causes of self-sabotage are you. It's you. And if you can figure out which one is yours, this is the one that is the most difficult for me, and work on it, I promise you, your life will get better. Things will seem easier. And all of a sudden it will feel like, wow, people aren't so against me because it was you. You were against you. Today we're talking about 3 causes of self-sabotage. I have done every single one of these. I still catch myself in them, but the difference is before I wouldn't even notice. It would feel so true and real, and I would be stuck in it. Now I catch them coming and I'm like, oh, yep, I see what this is. This is one of those causes of self-sabotage. I know what to do now to get out of it. I'm going to give you 3 causes of self-sabotage today, how they look in our lives, and what we can do about it. I'm Jen. I am a family coach. I'm a life coach for parents. So when I work with parents, it could be about behaviors in their kids. It could be how work life isn't going well. It's not smooth. I'm feeling guilty all the time when I'm at work. I wish I was at home and I feel guilty for not being with my kids. When I'm at home, I feel guilty because I should be working harder. I should be working later. I help all of those things. I help parents take better care of themselves, deal with stress, get healthier, reach some health goals, lose weight, take better care of themselves, get better sleep at night, learn to stop yelling, deal with anger, big emotions, the shame that parents can feel. I help with all of that. And today we're talking about 3 causes of sabotage, self-sabotage. This is us. This is what we do to us. We can blame everyone else, but it's us. The first one, cause number 1, self-sabotage, is negative words. Negative words. Prime example, I'm so busy. I'm too busy. I'm busy. I'm always busy. Life is busy. How are you? I'm busy. What's going on? Oh, we're so busy. How does that make you feel? That's hard. That's really hard. The more that you talk about being busy, the more overwhelmed you're going to feel. 100%. I read a story one time of a gentleman. He lived to be like 105. And he said when he was 60, he decided he was never going to say the word busy again. Never. And so he would say, you know what? I'm excited. It's an adventure. Life is full. But he decided he was never going to say the word busy. He was never going to say the word tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. He was never going to say those words. And he says it made a difference in his life. I believe it. I've stopped. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm trying to stop. I'm working on stopping saying busy. I'm trying to say full. I have a full life. You know, it is a wild, crazy adventure. It requires some diligence in my schedule, and I mess it up frequently, regularly. If you asked Patricia, who works for Families Matter Most, I mess it up a lot. However, instead of complaining about how busy and overscheduled, I live a full, adventurous life. That feels different. Living a full life and living a busy life feels different inside. And I like it. I like that better. I choose that. So I'm trying. I'm trying not to say tired, exhausted. I'm trying not to say busy. I'm trying to say full, adventurous, exciting. We live a big life and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's not perfect, but it's a lot of fun. What are the words that you are saying kind of on repeat that maybe you don't even realize that aren't serving you? These aren't helping you. Why do we keep saying that? We wake up, I'm so tired. I'm counting down the hours till bedtime. I can't wait until the weekend. Oh, I've got to go to work. Oh, I got to go to work tomorrow. It's Sunday. I'm miserable. Why? Why do we even give those words any power, any authority over our lives? We don't have to do it. We choose our words and we can choose differently. I want you right now to not think about a dolphin swimming in the ocean. Don't think about that. No, don't. Don't think about that. Stop it. Right now, I don't want you to think about Mickey Mouse tap dancing with, his hat and his cane and doing a little dancing in the rain. I don't want you to think about that. Don't think about it. That's what our brain does. It doesn't understand what the words mean. It just understands what the words are. It's like our brain is a personal assistant, but it's dumb. It's like it's like ChatGPT. Our brain is like ChatGPT. It's a personal assistant, but it's not smart. So it's just going to do whatever you tell it really fast, and it's going to get it wrong a lot. If you say, don't think about Minnie Mouse. Oh, Minnie Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Minnie. It's going to say Minnie Mouse everywhere. If you say to your brain, don't think about a dolphin, what immediately pops into your brain? A dolphin. Our brain doesn't work with don't. Stop. Whatever you tell it, our brain is going to picture. And then if you were in a crowded room and I said to you, don't look for a man in a dark suit and a beard. Don't do it. Immediately what happens? You are looking for a man in a dark suit. You are. That is just the way that our brain works. So why? We don't need to do this. There are better ways. Think of your brain like a really bad, really fast, but dumb personal assistant. Or you can think of your brain as a bouncer in a bar. Your brain is constantly scanning, vigilant, looking for something that could go wrong, scanning the room. Okay, that could be a problem. He looks a little sketchy. She's getting into trouble. And if you went up to your brain and said, okay, don't look for someone who's about 6'3", looks like they play basketball, they're wearing shorts. What did you just picture, right? What is your brain looking for? It's looking for those things. So the words that we give it matter. It matters. And even though you're saying don't, for example, don't eat chips. Don't snack anymore at night. Don't snack. Don't eat the bad food. Don't do it. Don't get the poutine. Don't get it. What is your brain thinking? It's focusing on those things. But even with parenting, we do it to our kids all the time. Don't hit your sister. Quit it. Stop being mean. We're telling them what not to do. And what's getting in their brain? They're not hearing don't be mean. They're hearing be mean, right? They're not hearing permission, but they're hearing the words. And that's just getting planted in, Don't take all the cookies. Their brain is like cookies, cookies, cookies. So instead of telling your brain the negative thing, flip it. Tell it the positive thing. Tell it the positive thing and say, you know what? I'm working on using better words. I'm working on not saying tired, not saying exhausted, not saying overwhelmed, not saying, bored, not saying. I'm working on those things. I'm working on it. You can flip it to the positive. Instead of telling your kids, don't jump on the couch, tell them we sit on the couch. Couches are for sitting. Couches are for sitting. Couches are for sitting. That's what they're going to hear over and over and over again. That's what we need to do. So even thinking about the words we say, there are words that are pulling us away from the things we don't want, like don't embarrass yourself in this meeting, don't talk too much, we do that, right? Don't be an idiot. don't say that joke you're thinking of saying, don't say it. It would not be appropriate. We always have an option of moving away from something or moving towards something. And our brain likes to move towards. It gets stuck when we move away. So what I mean by that is, if I was trying to work on my own goals and get healthy, and I wanted to stop sleeping in. Don't sleep in the morning. Don't sleep in the morning. That's moving. That's away from. That's something I don't want. That's moving away. Don't sleep in. Don't do it. Back away. Don't do this thing. Our brain gets stuck there when it hears don't. It doesn't like to move forward, and yet it doesn't understand what to do. Right? So this would be like when we give a really bad prompt into ChatGPT and it gives us the wrong thing, right? This would be like that guy online who does Photoshop editing. I'll post a link to it in the show notes because it's really funny. People send him pictures and they'll say things like, there's a weirdo in this picture of my fiance and me. Could you please edit it? And he'll edit out the wrong person. So, so he'll edit out the fiance. So it's just him. Like, he does crazy things with pictures, and it's really funny. And it's about not being clear with our words. So we're not telling him exactly what we want, and he twists it. ChatGPT can do that. Our brain can also do that. So instead of telling it the things we don't want, instead of moving away from things, flip it. Instead of, I don't want to sleep in, what do you want? What do you want? I want to get up early. I will have so much more energy when I get up early, even though it's hard at first, it will pay off. This is an investment into my health, and I will feel great when I get up a little bit earlier. That's moving towards. Now, even hearing me, did you notice when I said that I don't want to do this? Did you feel yourself pulling backwards? It's interesting. When I said I do want to get up early, did you feel yourself leaning forward? That's something you want to move towards. So let's think about our words, and let's think about how we can remove some of the negative words, flip that script, and talk to our assistant and tell it what to look for and not what we don't want to see. So that's number one. That's self-sabotage. That just makes us miserable. It makes us feel overwhelmed and exhausted. And what that really specifically does is makes us feel stuck, because that moving away language makes our brain like, I don't know what to do here. All I'm thinking about is sleeping in, but I don't know. And when we combine the things we want to move away from and then the things we want to move towards, our brain is just like stuck in gear. It just doesn't know what to do there. And so if you feel like you're stuck in your life, I really want you to think about the words that you're using for yourself, in your relationships, with your kids, at work, in your head. I want you to think about your words, and let's move towards the things that you want. The second one, limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs. You've heard about these before. In the life coaching world, limiting beliefs, it is a big deal. It really is. And we all have them. There's always something, there's always something. It's only a matter of time before everything goes wrong. It always does. What are those things that are on repeat in your head? Money doesn't grow on trees. Oh, growing up, for me, my grandma raised me, and things she would say is, she would say that there's always something, if something goes well, something bad's going to happen. If something went well and she got an extra check for some reason for $1,000, she would say something like, well, guess what? Now the washing machine's going to break. Something's going to go wrong. And I think her struggle is that she could never get ahead. So for her, it always felt like if something good happened, the other shoe is going to drop. Something's going to happen to take that away. Well, I was a little girl and I was listening to that. And to me, that just felt like the rules of life. Of course, that's just how life works. You never get ahead. This is just, we don't get good things. We don't get extras. We just get this little spot here and we don't deserve any worse, but we don't deserve any better. And if anything good happens, something's going to happen to take it away. And if something bad happens, it's almost like well, of course it did, because that's what happens. That always happens to us. That was kind of the feeling in my home. For a lot of us growing up, the parenting vibe that was out there was, what did you do now? What have you done? Why are you so stupid? What were you thinking? Were you even using your brain? Those were the words. That was the language that was used on us. That was kind of the culture. It was very common. No one would have said these were bad parents, which is so interesting. But that's another podcast. No one would have said anything. That was just the knowledge of the day. And to be fair, if you are a parent listening to this or watching this video, you've thought it. So I know that it's there. What are the things? And they're almost like, they're thoughts, but they kind of go on repeat. They're kind of like a record playing in your head over and over and over again. Growing up, lots of opinions, lots of ideas about how life is and what's going to happen, right? And you probably heard lots of different things from different people, but some of them meant more. So if you were in Britain, if you were in England right now, and let's say you were at an event and someone was saying, go stand over there. And someone was saying, no, you need to go to this room. And someone said, oh no, you got to go line up here. But the King Charles said, no, actually you need to go that. That would weigh more, right? Whatever the King Charles said, you would listen to him. You would ignore everything else and listen to him. So that would be a royal order. And I want you to consider that we have these things in our brain that were told to us, that were shown to us, that were modeled, things that we picked up over our lifetime. And we made decisions, things like, the system is set up against me. I'll never get ahead. Yeah, you picked that up somewhere. And that became a royal order. That one trumped something else. So someone else could have said like, oh, life is great and everything works out for good all the time. But no, your brain is like, nope, the royal order decrees that the system is set up against me. I'll never get ahead. That trumps everything else. We all have royal orders. And that's why you can know something in your head, but not in your heart, right? Because it's taken root in your heart. It's become a part of your identity, of who you are, of your core. And so we need to do the work to change that out. And here's how we start is you just notice them. You just notice and you try and think about, where did that come from? That was just the way life was. Like, nobody sat me down and said, things will always go wrong in the end. No one, but there were these comments made in passing and just kind of the culture of our home and our family that was modeled to me somehow. And that became a royal order in my life. And it is a limiting belief. It really is. What I've worked hard to switch it to is what one man can do, another can do. What one man can do, another can do. And woman in my case. What one person can do, another can do. It's from this movie called The Edge about a guy that gets stranded in a bear. Anyway, it's a good movie, but I like it because this guy had no real experience, but he learned, he watched, he listened, he read, and he decided what one man can do, another can do. So I can survive this. I can get through this. I can overcome. That has become the new royal order in my life. But I've had to do the work to replace it. First step is noticing your limiting beliefs. I still have some. I don't know that they ever fully go away. I haven't got there. Maybe we can. Maybe we can. But regardless, I'm noticing them. I'm kind of pulling them out. I'm taking those limiting beliefs captive. I'm looking at them from every angle. I'm deciding where they came from. And then ultimately, I'm deciding if they serve me. And they do not. They do not. This is self-sabotage. That's what it is. It causes us to get stuck. It causes us to give up. If you have given up on something, then I want you to look at those limiting beliefs. What are some rules of life that you've decided are true? They've become royal orders in your life. Where did they come from? Can we change it? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. It might take some work, working with a life coach, getting some counseling therapy, having someone, a mentor to work it through, but it is absolutely possible to do it. What do you wish was there instead? Like, I chose this one. The new royal order is what one man can do, another can do. I chose that, and it feels good. It feels powerful. It feels strong. It feels like I can do things. I'm not perfect, but I can figure things out. That's another one of mine. I can figure things out. I don't always get things right on the first try. In fact, I fail a lot, but I can figure things out. So limiting beliefs is the second cause of self-sabotage I want to talk about today. The last one is assuming intentions. Assuming intentions. Someone didn't reply to your text, and for you, you just know it's because they don't like you. They don't like you. They don't respect you. That's what it is. You assume the intentions. It's because you're not important to them. But we don't know any of that. We don't know if any of that is true, right? We've assumed that. Your kids don't listen to you. Well, it's because you're a bad parent. It's because you don't know what to do. It's because they don't respect you. It's because they don't love you. It's because you're failing them. Do we know that? Is that true? Is that true? Your partner was rude to you? Well, that's because they don't actually love you like they used to. They're thinking about leaving. It's not good. They don't care about you. They hate you. They blame you. It's all your fault. Like, we don't know the intentions. And I'll tell you, the older I get, the more I realize people really don't care about you or me. They don't care. They really don't care. People are walking around thinking about themselves. We all do this. They're thinking about, how do I come across? What do people think about me? Particularly right now, mental health, anxiety, stress is at an all-time high. The Surgeon General in the US is warning parents about it. There's a loneliness epidemic, even though we're the most connected we've ever been, ever, in the history of ever. And yet, right? Lonely, mental health, anxiety, stress, overwhelm, disconnection. All of these things are prevalent. People are not thinking about you. I promise you that. They're not. They're thinking about themselves. When you're in pain, when you stub your toe, are you thinking about anybody else? No, you're not. And is it because you're selfish? No, it's because you're in pain. People are walking around wounded. They're bleeding on other people. They're making messes. They're hurting others. And even though it comes across as selfish, it's not intentional. I think a lot of the time it's because they're in pain and they're just trying to deal with it. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about how they're coming across. What do people think of them? They're thinking about their own insecurities and they can't help it. And they don't know that they actually need to stop walking, deal with their wounds. Can we deal with the wounds? They don't know that. Parents are doing that. We're bleeding on all of our kids. We're taking stuff out on them unintentionally. We are assuming intentions. You know what? My kids, they don't think I'm worth anything. They think I'm useless and stupid, and they don't respect me, and they don't love me. And we don't know that that's true. Actually, I could argue that it's not. Your kids are not waking up in the morning thinking, how can I ruin mom's day? They're really not. Your kids aren't waking up in the morning, gee, I want to disrespect dad. That's what I want to do today. They're really not. And people at work, they're not brushing their teeth in the morning thinking about you. They're really not. They're thinking about themselves. So if we can just drop that, and I still catch myself doing it, I have to remind myself, wait, stick to the circumstance. Is there any evidence? Is there any evidence to support this other than they didn't reply to my text? Is there any other evidence for them to think that they don't like me, don't respect me, whatever that is? And if the answer is yes, then let's look at it and say, okay, maybe this is a conversation I should have respectfully to follow up. Maybe. Maybe I should send another reminder text. In my case, if I've ever not replied to your text, please send me a reminder text because that's what it is. It's just me. It's just me getting lost in the technology. You know how many times I've said, somebody messaged me somewhere, and I don't know if it's Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, business, the radio show, email. I have 3 different email accounts. Is it text? I don't know where it came from. I can't find it now. It's gone. It's just gone. So we can give people the benefit of the doubt. What does it do to you when we assign intention to someone that may or may not be true? It causes us to react in a certain way. We respond to that. Maybe we put up walls. Maybe we become cold. Maybe we retaliate. And someone else now is going home feeling like, wow, that person was really rude to me. What did I do? I did something. I don't know. Maybe we are now participating in this. And come on, let's get off of this. We're not going to participate this. I want to be intentionally naive. I know. You're like, what? No. I want to be intentionally naive when it comes to assuming intentions. I want to believe the best about everyone. In fact, if you have an issue with me, you're going to have to come right out and say it, because I'm going to choose to take your hints as, you know what, they're just having a bad day, I guess. I'm going to choose to believe the very best, to the point that you're going to have to come out and tell me. That's how I want to live. Do I fail in this sometimes? Yes. But that is what I'm working towards. I want to be intentionally naive, believe the very best. Because you know what? When I assume intentions from other people, when I assign that to others, it hurts me. It hurts me. And I think it is frequently wrong. It is frequently wrong. So what if we decide today that we're going to believe the best, the very best about people, to the point that it's going to feel like a blindside, right? When someone hurts us, because inevitably that will happen. We will get hurt. What if we decide that? Now I know, and this is why we do it, because we want to prevent pain. So imagine you're going about your day and then you get blindsided with a real hurtful thing where the intention is obvious. Hey, I don't like you, and here's why. What if that happens? It will be hard. Devastating, maybe. Devastating. Okay, we can say that. It'll be devastating. And then what? And maybe we cry. Okay. Sure. Okay, we cry. Maybe we retaliate. Maybe it's drama. Maybe it's an issue. And then we take a breath and we move on with our life. It's not so bad. I mean, it is, but it's not so much worse than assuming everyone's out to get you. So how is that serving us? If we assume that everyone is against us, then we're just kind of miserable. It prevents us from enjoying our life as much as we could. We are cautious, right? We're kind of suspicious about other people, which is not the way that I want to live. And then we still get blindsided. So it doesn't serve us. Can we agree? It doesn't serve us. This is self-sabotage. This affects you, not other people. So here it is. Those are the 3 things in a quick nutshell. 3 causes of self-sabotage. And I know you do at least one of these. Negative words. How we talk to our personal assistant matters. They are like a bouncer at a bar, and we are telling our brain what to think about. So you be very careful what words you give it, and try to avoid the moving away from language, the don't, stop, quit, and try to initiate the moving toward language. Tell your brain what to do. Tell your brain what to look for. That will help you, particularly if you feel like you get stuck and there's like indecision and you can't move forward. Limiting beliefs. These are things that just are on replay. They just play over and over again in your brain. They're like these rules of life. Money doesn't grow on trees, you know. You might as well spend it now because it's going to be gone. right? There's always something. It's only a matter of time. It always fails in the end. These are the things that we say. They hurt you. And it's not true. What one man can do, another can do. There are people that are overcoming these things. And if I can do it, you can do it. If someone else can do it, I can do it. So this is really important if you struggle with insecurities, right? These feelings of not for me, I don't deserve it. Insecurities. I want you to think about limiting beliefs. And then the third one we talked about, assuming intentions, or you can think of it as assigning intentions to people. You know, they didn't reply to me. My kids didn't behave. I got an email from a teacher. I'm called into a meeting. You are assuming the intentions without fully knowing all the information. And this one is particularly bad if you tend to have strong emotions yourself, because we can react to those. We can respond to people, to life, according to these intentions that may or may not even be true. So if you struggle with emotions, let's think about this. What intentions are you assigning? And let's all decide to be naive. Let's just do it. Let's just do it and get blindsided if we have to, and we'll deal with that and move on. I hope this was helpful for you. This truly is life-changing. I want you to think about how you can apply these things. I'd love to hear from you. I want to know which of these three is the one you're going to work on first. And again, I don't want you to say, I'm going to stop assuming intentions. I'm going to stop limiting beliefs. I want you to tell me what you're going to move towards. What are you going to do? I'm going to speak more positive words. I'm going to work on that. I want to know which of these you're going to work on. And then I also would love for you to share, what are the specific examples that came to mind? What are your limiting beliefs? What are the situations you assume intentions on? Or what are some of the negative words that you're struggling with that you're going to replace with positive? Because I think that's really encouraging to others to say, hey, these are some of the things that I've struggled with, and these are some of the things that I'm working on. It always makes us feel like we're in this together. And also, I want to solidify it for you in which areas of life you're going to apply it. Is this going to be in work? Is this going to be at home, in your marriage, in your relationships with your kids, in your parenting? I want to know where you see these three causes of self-sabotage at work and what you're going to do about it. I can't wait to hear from you.